Good morning. I am Diane, and I'm not sure I'm ready for this morning because I don't feel prepared. So I've got my notes. I am 75, and I live in a shed. I know you can't see my dog, but he won't sit in my lap, which I don't have a lap, sitting in a chair. Okay. This is not as bad as it sounds because I think my home is beautiful. I would not have it any other way. But I lived next door in a 2-story house, and I am on my daughter's property right now. She tragically lost one of her sons to a drunk driver. He was 15. If you can see him, he's right here on the wall. This is the real reason that I live in a shed. Be quiet, Clint. Be quiet. Since I live next door to him, and he had 2 other brothers, but he would come in my front door 14 times a day, seriously, just in and out. And he'd always come to the workroom, talk to me, tell me about what happened at school, or tell me something his brother did. He just was always just, I loved him so much. He was beloved by me. I adored him. Sweetest child ever. I just didn't want to be there anymore. In the living room, I even turned my furniture around so that I wouldn't be facing the front door because I just kept expecting him to walk through it. Another reason, at the time I was 67, now I'm 75, and I was working my butt off in my sewing workroom. Had orders running out my ears, and my house payment was $1,500 a month. $1,500. I know nowadays that there are apartments that go for $1,500. I do not understand that. I don't know how people live anymore. But I was getting older, plus I was grief-stricken, had to force myself to work, which was really, be quiet. If they hear a car coming, they're gonna bark or whatever. You know, I need to get my little controller thing so I can make them stop barking. If you've got a barking dog, this little device here will help tremendously. Amazon. It doesn't shock them, it just throws out something that makes them turn around and look. I don't know what it is, but anyway, it works. Okay, back to my story. A $1,500 a month house payment. It was over $1,500. Plus the electrical and all the other entrapments that we get into. I just didn't want to do it anymore. I just thought there has to be a better way to live without all this pressure. Plus the grieving. I mean, it was too much. It was way too much. So I had a building out in my backyard that I had bought maybe 4 years prior for storage. It was a repossession, didn't look that great, but I needed it for storage, so I bought it, made payments on it, like $300 a month, and got it paid for in like 3 years. No big deal. They didn't check credit or anything like that. None of those places do, I don't think. So I would go out there, it was 14 by 40, and I would go stand out there and I would go, can I live in this little thing? I really wanted to live in a tiny house, but do you know how much tiny houses are? You know, they're a lot. They're a lot. 150,000, 180,000. Well, that's like buying a house again. Of course, I know there are some people out there that sell them for less. They do. I couldn't afford that. I had no savings. I owned my own business for, 40 years. I had no savings. You know, I had good years, bad years, good years, bad years. So I was basically struggling my whole life. I was unmarried most of my adult life. Had 4 children. You know what children cost. Had grandchildren I was taking care of at the time. They lived in the house with me with their father. I just had a lot of responsibilities, and I knew that I had to change it some way. So, as I said, I would go stand in my building and think, can I live in this building? So, the wisest thing I did was Google floor plans. 14 by 40 floor plans on the internet. Oh, they popped up a whole bunch of different ways. So then I could envision how I could live in it. I could see the space, see the measurements, and I thought, okay, I can do this. I can do this. Now, mentioning it to my children was a hard thing because they thought I was crazy. Plus, I had to ask the son who lived with me to leave with his children so that I could sell my home. Now, had I thought about it, which I didn't, which you might think about, if you have a home that's too much for you, payments are too much, and it has any kind of property, I had 2.5 acres, you could maybe rent the house out. As soon as you rent the house, that's 2 months' payments right there. And then you could move into your backyard in a smaller space. I maybe should have done that, but didn't think about it at the time. I just asked my daughter if I could move in her backyard next door. She has about 2 acres also. And she said, sure. And she was grieving also. She was pretty compliant, anything at the time. So I started planning my exit. I asked my son to leave, started cleaning out closets, getting rid of furniture, selling it. I gave my son a couple of bedroom sets because I didn't need it or want it, so that he could move into an apartment with his children. Gave him a sofa, things like that. Just started getting rid of stuff with the full intention of whatever I made by selling the house, which wouldn't be much because I'd only lived there 11 years. And the bank screwed me over, I have to tell you that. They did. Whatever. That's another story in itself. Frankly, every 3 years, they would refinance the house. Every 3 years. Because I built it in 2008, which was a terrible year, you remember? So I was on a balloon note, and every 3 years, they would refinance it, charge me $6,000, tack it on to the amount of the house. So when I left the house, I actually owed more on the house than the day I did when I bought it. That's the honest to God truth. I knew I had to get out of that house. I would have never got it paid off. If I'd have lived to 100, I'd still been making house payments. I'm sorry, that was a rabbit trail. So anyway, started planning, started making notes. I drew my house exactly the way I wanted it to be. I did have a sewing workroom. I had to have that because it still worked. I had a website. Was doing okay. Couldn't just close it down. And I was already drawing unemployment, Social Security, because I was 67, 68 at this time. So, it took me to the start of, I sold my house in 2019, which was 2 years after Kurt passed. Moved in with my daughter next door with my 2 dogs and a cat. I'm sure she had a ball. She never said a word. I moved my workroom in her building, outside building. Worked out there every day. I made do. We made do. Now the thing is, when I pass, this building, this home, I'm calling it a home because it's a home. This home will belong to her. It's part of her inheritance from me because she let me live in her backyard. So it will be hers. I think she's going to rent it out as an Airbnb. Anyway, I go down rabbit trails. I told you I wasn't prepared today. I'm just kind of here today. Okay. So I moved in with Ashley January 2020. Does anybody remember 2020? COVID hit. Everybody was stuck at home. No one was doing anything. The world stopped. You couldn't hire workers to work on my home. So I had to wait till COVID kind of smoothed over. And I think I started working on the house in late May. And by August, I was in it. And quite frankly, I love it. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I wished I'd have done it years before. It's so perfect for a single person or even a small family. I have a bedroom on each end, and of course one of them is a workroom. I have a little sitting area. I have a lounge in there where I watch TV in the daytime. The kitchen's in there. Very convenient. Everything is just convenient. Simplicity. My bedroom is on the end of the house, which I have a little porch out there, and I just had it screened in, and I really love it now. All these little things you can add later, but the main thing is to get in someplace that you can afford. I own my business all my life, and I never prepared for old age. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it until one day it was upon me. And then you have to think about it, and you go, oh, I made a lot of mistakes. But when you own your own business and you're struggling some years, and some years you make better, and you're able to acquire some things, like a better car or something like that, or a car for one of your kids. There's just always something that you need. This world. Anyway, I just did the best I could all my life. I did the best I could. Hey. No barking. See how. Okay. So, if you want to see my house, like the week I moved in, I made a video on my phone, and I'm going to put it in the link below if you just want to see what it looked like. It was cute. Of course, it has changed. I'm all time changing. I just like to do things. Right now I'm sitting in a sunroom that I built on top of the deck that I built that I never used. I have allergies. I don't ever go outside. So it was just there. It's pretty, but I never went outside. Plus it was hot. So I started saving, and then saved up enough money just to build this simple sunroom, which gives me more space. Everything is just, acquire as you can. But going back to the these homes that are sheds, I have seen people buy an 8 by 20 and turn it into a cute, very cute little home for a single woman or a single man. I mean, why did the world explode and start building mansions everywhere that they can't afford? I never understood that. I had a 2-story house, but it was very simple. 2,200, and by the way, I built it to resale at the time. My daughter and I were flipping houses, and I bought the property next to her, so because someone was about to put a trailer park next to my daughter's house, I knew that would lower the value of her house. So I bought the property and built a house on it, and that was 2008. And there we go again, another monumental year, 2008, when everything happened, or didn't happen. However you want to look at it. The world stopped again. Anyway, I do digress. The thing is, if you want to see my house, there's a link below. Another thing, if you are thinking maybe that this could work for you, I have a step-by-step list of what you do from the moment you decide to do it until you finish. Very simple. You can take notes or keep watching the video and make your own notes. But that link is below also. So I hope you have a wonderful day. It's a beautiful day here in North Alabama. And I've enjoyed being with you, and join me next time. See you later.